and people really most of the time love you, and but you just don't always feel that way, and it's hard to just open your hands and receive that love and accept it. So that's, I guess I wanted to share that on my birthday because I had all these people around me that love me, and me too, and um, and I just figured at least I'm going to talk about it. It's one of the ways of coping with something is, sharing it, talking about it with friends, and, just being aware of it. Um, like my first episode on the show is about perfectionism, and, one of the ways to deal with perfectionism is just starting, first of all, to be aware of it, just giving it a title and a name. So I'm therefore aware that it's hard for me to receive love, and that it's something that, I got to consciously work on and be aware of. And this is, I guess, my little part of my journey of, loving myself. Um, and so yesterday I was walking around the lake, the Jamaica Pond, and I was walking, for like a 2-hour meditation. It's my birthday. I wanted to connect to myself, my soul, God, whatever that is, reality. So, so I'm walking, and, on this little path, like right by the water, so no one could see me. I'm just making my own hike, and just talking and talking, and, I'm talking to God, and I'm trying to connect with that feeling of sweetness, right? And, that's what usually I do. I talk to God, and I'm like, working on that feeling of God. God is sweet, and, it's everything's for me, and everything is sweet, um, and I try to connect to the idea that God could give me everything because, God made the money, and God made all the rich people. So, of course, I don't need to, like, too much be afraid of people. I gotta be afraid, not afraid, but I gotta trust God, that God's gonna give me whatever I need in the right time. So I'm walking around the lake, and I'm just trying to connect to my inner God that created the world and can make the world a better place, and to the outer God, and I'll connect that in a second. You'll see. So I'm talking to God, and all these sweet and love, and after an hour I decided to keep on, just keep on praying, because I really need funding for this project, and I really want to make this show work, and I really want to make the world a better place, and come on, God, I really want to do that. And then I started getting really confused. I'm like, God, why isn't that happening right now? Why? It was, yeah, I'll change the picture. It's like, God, why isn't that happening? Oh, I can't see my face. Um, Happy birthday, me. Um, God, why isn't that happening? I was so confused and upset, and I was just like looking around, and like, I want this to happen. God, I've been asking for so much. So from the state of like really sweetness and everything, I just started being really confused. God, and then I started getting upset. I was getting angry. I was like, I'm kind of tired of being sweet. God, every time I talk to you, I'm in a sweet place. I'm asking you. I'm being kind. I'm doing good. I'm thanking for everything. I'm going through the gratitude ceremony and everything. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not what needs to work. Maybe I just need to be angry with God. It's like, God, oh, I want this thing to happen. Why isn't that happening? Maybe what I need to do is to be angry with God. And and I screamed, and I was, and then I was like, I'm going to do something really provocative. That's what the people want. The MTV guy is like, do something provocative. I don't know. I'll just make the show provocative. Maybe I'll do that. I was just being angry. I was like, gonna do something really crazy, and like, God, you'll see. Um, so then I get on my bicycle and start biking back, and that fear started turning into sadness. Um, that anger started turning into sadness, um, with like frustration. And then slowly it started turning into fear. Fear of the future. What's going to happen next? I don't know if I'm going to get funding, or if I really don't know what's gonna happen. Like, finding, the right apartment and flying back to Israel, and like so many things to be afraid of. And I just started being really afraid, really scared. And, that's something that happens to all of us, I think, being afraid of whatever. I hope you could connect to my story. I just started being really scared. And that happens also a lot, just being afraid. Something I realized in my life. And suddenly I paused my bicycle on the side, like it just, something struck me so hard. I stopped on the side, pulled over, and I just slammed deep in my heart, and I realized I sinned. I finally, I realized this is a sin. Now, sin in English could be, I don't really know, but in Hebrew the word sin, chet, means missing. You just missed, you had the right intentions, but you were just not exactly there. And it says in the Gemara that anger or fear is idol worshiping. And I just realized that that's exactly what I was doing. Fear is idol worshiping, because I'm basically, whatever, it's a sin. Because I'm basically like believing that there's something bad that could happen, that there's something bad that could control my life. Fear is connecting to that belief, that faith, that there's something bad that could happen. And like, worry that just that it's going to be bad. And that's the opposite of that belief, the education that I was talking about before, that education that we're taught, that we're supposed to feel that things are for the best and things are sweet. Once you fear, you're connecting to that other place of, of thinking that things are bad for you, or that things are not really good. And that is idol worshiping. Now, whether if there's God or not, I don't know. Hell, I don't know. But I think the education that, in my eyes, that they're trying to give us here is that fear is idol worshiping, and that love is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to practice. We're supposed to practice believing that things are for the best. We're supposed to practice believing that we're good, that we're winners, that we're deserving, and that things are going to be great. And it's a practice. It's a choice. We're the people of choice, right? That's how we're called. I think the Bible was talking to everyone, and Jews is just the title of like a mission, but like, really everyone is. I mean, it's talking to everyone. These are just the ancestors of everyone, kind of. And they're trying to tell us, in my eyes, and just you got to practice that choice of believing that things are good, and things are for the best, and you got to practice loving yourself and believing in yourself, believing in sweetness, believing that this reality is sweet,